Wow. Praise the Lord. We are here at a very special moment tonight. And as in a few hours, the world will celebrate, people will shout, clocks will strike 12. And everywhere you will hear it, Happy New Year. But I have a special question for us tonight. What if the change of the numbers on the calendar do not change men, but men change the calendar? Now, I'm going to explain this in details for each one of us to understand, because I don't want us to miss out on such a very special moment whereby there is a shift in the atmosphere. You understand? Now, I know that very many people think that when the numbers flip from 2025 to 2026, that life magically resets. You understand? That's why very many people, especially on the days of the crossover, they are very excited. Understand? They go into this particular season of life with excitement, especially about this change of the season and the change of the time. You know, the change of the time on the calendar. You understand? Some think that after the year has changed, the old problems vanish magically and the new blessings fall on everyone, whether they are ready or not. You understand? Now, I know we are blessed with all spiritual blessings in the heavenly places. It is very important for us to note that, so that as the year is changing, or as we are transitioning into a new experience, we don't assume that the new experience is to be handed over to us because of the change of the numbers on the calendar. You understand? But because of that which dwells within us, that must find expression in the opportune season, or in the availed moment, in the given moment of the year. You understand? Now, there is something that is so true that I want to share with you tonight. And I want you to understand that anyone who is uncertain of what is expected of him or her in the new season or in the new timing that we are yet to experience should give heed to this teaching. Because I'm not just sharing with you for the sake of you knowing, but I'm sharing with you for the sake of you aligning. You understand? Now, I want you to note that the new year is not about a new calendar. It is not just all about that. You understand? But it's all about a spiritual checkup. Now, listen. When I say that a new year is not all about a new calendar, I'm not meaning that calendars are not important. They are. But what I'm trying to explain here is that is part, just a portion of the new experience of the season or of a given time or of a given moment. You understand? So it's all about a spiritual audit or spiritual checkup that I'm going to be explaining in a few minutes in here. Now, think of this spiritual audit or checkup as when a person goes to the doctor. They don't just wish you well. They check your heart, your pressure, your blood. They look at the facts to see if you're truly well. You understand? Now, that's what we experience as well in moments of transition. You understand? There is something that continually happens to the innermost being of a man, especially when it comes to a man's mandate in relation with time. You understand? You understand? Now, when I said that the year or the new year does not change a man, but a man changes the year. You understand? I wasn't disqualifying time. You understand? But I was pointing to that which man carries in him that gives value to time. Do you understand? I was speaking about that thing within a man that gives time a meaning. Do you understand? I know many people think that now 2026 will be different, just because the date changed, yeah? But that is not it. That's why earlier I told you that years don't change people. People change years. You understand? People change years. You understand? Now, before God gives you a new season, I want you to understand that He doesn't check your clock first. I remember some time back I was teaching us about time, and I told us that in scripture context, time differs. You understand? Biblically, time is not just about days, years, and months. No, we also have what we call opportune time, the kairos. You understand? Opportune time, the time of transition in the man's life. You understand? So if a man does not know how to align with what we call the kairos, or the opportune time, you understand? Then regardless of how many days, months, and years a man spends on the face of the earth, they are counted all loss, because a man has not the understanding of times to know what he ought to do in a particular season or in a particular time. That's why somewhere it is written that teach us how to number our days, so that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Do you understand? This was way deeper than just the awareness of the days of the week, to the awareness of the opportunity that is granted to a man to accomplish his purpose on the face of the earth. You understand? To accomplish his purpose on the face of the earth. So whenever we are having a transition in times and seasons, I want us to understand that God doesn't check your clock. You understand? He checks your record in relation with what he designed you to accomplish on the face of the earth. You understand? So he weighs you with a scale of purpose. He looks into your record to see, based on what he designed you to accomplish on the face of the earth, how far are you? Listen, if the time for its manifestation is not yet, how far are you as far as preparing yourself and waiting on him is concerned? I know most of you are familiar with the scripture that says that those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. But the waiting in there is not a passive kind of waiting. It is not a lazy kind of waiting whereby someone will say, oh, you know, the Lord has not yet confirmed with me, let me just go and I sleep. You understand? That is not the kind of waiting in here. The kind of waiting in here that is described is a kind of waiting that prepares a man for divine mandate. You understand? That prepares a man for divine assignment. That prepares a man for a task. That distinguishes a man from any other man on the face of the earth. You get the concept? It is a kind of waiting that you could see athletics, yeah? Those people who run and do what? Understand? When they are waiting on the whistle, or they are waiting on the commander to tell them to go. You understand? You know, when you're in that kind of a race, you don't sit behind there and you're like, let me wait. You understand? You don't go behind there. You understand? Or you walk anyhow and you walk there and you're like, I'm waiting for the whistle. No. You come on the line, on the starting line, and you are aligned. Understand? You are aligned with the event. Understand? Yes, at that particular moment, the green light is not yet given. The word go is not yet given. But your availability on the starting line matters. You understand? So a man positions himself at the starting line for a race, that the moment the commander says go, or the green light is given, you understand? A man is going to take off. As a man being waiting, yes. As a man being waiting recklessly, no. You understand? This man is a man who has been waiting with a weight of preparedness, because he knows the moment that is yet to encounter. He knows the weight of the event. He knows the weight of the moment, the given moment, and the given time at a particular moment. You understand? So that it is what it means to wait on the Lord. You understand? Now, in this context, I want you to understand that when God is giving a man a new season, he looks into a man's record. You understand? He looks down in his record for your life, and he wants to know how aligned are you with divine assignment. You understand? So every new season, we have to be having this in mind, that aligning up our lives with God's intent for our lives is very important. I know we already have goals for our businesses. I know we already have goals for our jobs, our plans for the advancements we want to make into the year 2026. You understand? But we have to understand that there is a law that transcends our plan, and that is a law that governs a man's steps, a law of the spirit of life that can intervene and interfere with your plans for 2026, for a better plan to be unfolded, for a better plan to be granted unto you, for a better plan to be given, for you to have an encounter that transcends your expectation. You understand? So as you look into 2026, you have to be having this in your mind, an open-minded mindset that allows adjustments in plans for the better of your life experience on the face of the earth. You understand? So, let me be honest with love. You understand? Now listen, if you walk into 2026 with the same limited mindset, you understand? The date of 1st January, you'll be celebrating. You understand? You'll be celebrating Happy New Year, here and there. But in divine records, you understand? Your story will not be any different. You understand? Because you've not aligned yourself for the newness of experience, but you've just lived to be excited for a moment, that you're not willing to adjust yourself to align and attune with the frequency of God for the greater thing that He has called you to accomplish on the face of the earth. That means, even as the new year begins, 2026, as a man in a particular place is shouting, Happy New Year, it will be a replayed year, simply because the man has not renovated his mind. You understand? To put the necessary material to align his thought life to the newness of experience that the Spirit wants to guarantee that man, to carry him into deeper experiences and levels of living in his life. You understand? Now let me go somehow deeper. You understand? I want us to understand that real progress is more of spiritual than physical. So there is a physical aspect of progress, but the greatest aspect of greatness or progress, the greater portion of progress takes place in the spirit. You understand? That's why success doesn't come from just feelings. You understand? It comes from taking action that guarantee results based on the principles were set beforehand for the fulfillment of a man's purpose and assignment on the face of the earth. Do you understand? You get? Yeah. It is not based on feelings. It is based on a man aligning himself. Listen? A man aligning himself with that which was designed for him beforehand. That's how success finds expression. I remember some time back I was teaching you about success, and I told you that birds do not have a lot as far as material possessions are concerned, but they are successful in their own way. And success is defined or described by the fulfillment of purpose. The only way you can tell a bird which is a failure and a bird which is successful is in their expression, in alignment with that which they were originally designed to do. Because a bird was designed to fly. So when a bird flies, you understand? It has become successful because this is what is encoded in it. This is what is within its code. You understand? So it has been able to decode. You understand? The codes that were placed within itself for the fulfillment of its purpose. That's why it is then successful. You understand? Let me explain it in another language. You get? When a bird flies, it has been able to unleash its potential. That means to release the reserved energy within it. So it has reached its full potential. Then it is successful. You understand? That means success is weighed with the scale of potential, not with the scale of the change of time and seasons. Listen, it is weighed with the scale of potential. What have you been able to manifest at a particular period of time or at a particular moment? Do you understand? So your success is not just in you having this and that, but also in you being able to reach your full potential as far as living is concerned. Because regardless of what you possess, if you have not exercised yourself to unleash your potential, to release the reserved energy within you, you live a frustrated kind of life. You will keep wondering why even if you possess this and that, you're still not feeling satisfied. That is simply because there is something that is trapped within you that wants to have expression, and that is the true definition of success to a man. You understand? Something that is way deeper than anything around you. Something that can only come from within you and find expression on the outside of you. You understand? You know, different people have different potentials. It is a reserved energy. Some of you might carry a potential of leadership and administration. Some of you might carry potential in several spheres. You understand? But if that potential is untapped, success is not reached. You understand? If you carry the potential for leadership and administration and you never lead and you never become an administrator, you understand? You understand? That means of not being able to release your potential, and that means that the limits of your success are not reached. Now, in most cases, we think that success is a general kind of, concept. You understand? We think that, for you to be a successful man, you have to be like so and so, or you have to be like so and so. No. Every man's success is integrated with a man's potential and ability. You understand? To manifest that which was designed to manifest on the face of the earth. You understand? That is how success is weighed for a man. You get? So if the potential of a man is to influence nations, you understand? And the man thinks that, okay, the best thing I can do is just to become, a local council leader and all that, and it goes for that. There are people to whom, when they become, a leader in a local council committee, that is, they have arrived to a certain degree of success as far as leading people and administration is concerned. You understand? Or administration in particular spheres is concerned for people who are into administrative, places or positions. Understand? But yet to you it will be a disgrace. To you it will be failure for you to settle for that based on your potential. Yet to another man it's success for him to be a president. You understand? But for you, based on your potential, you supersede that. Let me tell you something. We have different levels of authority. Though these levels of authority do not contradict each other. You being a president doesn't mean that you don't need a local council whatsoever. You being a minister, a man of God, a woman of God, whatsoever, it doesn't mean that you don't need a president. You need them. And they need you. Understand? But what I'm trying to show you is this, is that there are different levels of authority based on the potential that was given to a man to dominate. You understand? And express their potential in the fields in which they were designed with the ability and capacity to influence. Do you understand? Wow. Oh, I believe this is not leaving someone the same. Yeah? Now let me tell you something. Some of the questions that we could be asking ourselves, especially in the transitioning at this particular moment, include: 1, what do I need to let go of? You understand? The previous year. Understand? What is that thing that has not added on to me a lot? You understand? For example, wrong attitudes. The harshness, the rudeness that has really affected you, easily getting, upset and all that. You understand? Those mood swings. You understand? And unhealthy relationships or friendships. When I say relationships, it is wide. It includes friendships, families, whatsoever. You understand? So, and I'm not saying that you should get rid of your families. You need them. In this dispensation, it is easy for someone to get off easily. You understand? No, I'm speaking about letting go of in such a way that you are not troubled. You understand? And you do not fight to suit into that in which you are not valued, in which you are not, your worth is not seen. I remember some time back, I had someone speak about something. For those who know, Prophet Hubert Angel, the wife was speaking about something, and it says that when they began the ministry, they had to go and begin the ministry and commit to the work of ministry. They left a lot of things that they were doing. So the family of Prophet Hubert Angel called him, and they were telling him that, you know what has happened to you, what, you understand? And he had to choose either to follow the leading of the Spirit or to follow the voice of his family. You understand? Our families are very beautiful places to be, but at a particular moment in life, their vision is limited to what they have seen around you. You understand? Or about you, that they cannot easily tap into the greatness that lies ahead. You understand? So the man had to leave the opinions of the family. He had to let go of their opinions. He had to let go of all that, and he focused onto that which he knew that could present him as a man of greatness in his generation. So when I speak about you letting go of, some relationships and certain kind of way that you relate to people, I'm speaking about when it comes to families, it is letting go of opinions that don't serve the fulfillment of your purpose on the face of the earth. You need those people, you understand, around you. But there are opinions that they may give that don't serve your purpose. So for the opinions, you set them aside, you understand? But don't set aside the people, you understand? Let the people be around you. But for the opinions that don't serve your purpose, just put the opinions aside and move on, and let the people be around you and watch the greatness that is yet to be made manifest from the inside of you. So that is what I was trying to say. Understand? Now, there are lots of things that you could look into and you're like, oh, this is what I should let go in the previous. You understand? Now, the second question is that what am I making excuses for? Now, in this question, I want you to understand that every time we make excuses, we delay the manifestation of our potential. We delay the energy that is reserved within us. We delay it from manifesting the greatness that lies within. Understand? So, however small it is that you know that you can do, that you know that you were designed to do, begin preparing yourself, as in aligning yourself to carry it on. Understand? Now, the last question, as I conclude, that I want you to ask yourself is this: what did God tell me to do that I did not do? You understand? And go about it. You know, most of you think that when he tells you to do something, you simply because he told you to do something, you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to do it and things are just like that. No. No. You understand? Even as you go about doing the things that he has told you to do, there is a lot to learn within the process. And that is the part that most of us don't want. We just want the result, but we don't want the process. You understand? Go back. You understand? You need to go back. Follow through. You understand? Go back, visit those things. You may seem as though you don't have enough funds to do them. It may seem as though you don't have enough money to go about them. It may seem that you don't have enough friends. It may seem that you don't have enough partners to help you or support you in that thing. But go about it. Revisit it. Get a hold of it. Run with it. Walk in it. And accomplish it. For you are not alone. He often told men in all generations that he walked with that I will be with you. And that is the absolute assurance that we have. That regardless of how many things that we may not be having at a particular moment, you understand? We have him with us. We have him who is more than enough with us. And because of his presence in our lives, and because of his presence in the accomplishment of the thing that he has designed us to accomplish, the materials and the tools that we need to use for the accomplishment of our purpose and assignment on the face of the earth will gravitate towards us because his presence is more than enough to attend to a man's need for the accomplishment of the purpose of the man on the face of the earth. Oh, Shataka Pradigas. This is your blessed message for the new year. And I want you to carry it all through the new year as you continuously remind yourself of these things, that they may guide you in the new year to the glory of God.